Hi, Ron Knight for HobbyWars. We're in Chino, California to play a game of Fast Gun RC Warship Combat. It's called Fast Gun because the captains can fire their cannons as fast as they can push the fire buttons. We're going to explain how the ships are built and how the game is played. The ship frame is covered with 1/32 inch balsa wood. When you shoot BBs through it, water flows in. If the bilge pumps can't pump the water out fast enough, the ship will sink.
So we'll start at the bow of the boat here. So what we have is the CO2 regulator. This regulates down the 2000 psi air that's inside of the tank here down to 150 psi so it can go downstream to the rest of the cannon system. At the very front here, we have the test valve. This is also used as a relief valve so that when we depressurize the system we can unscrew that, release the pressure so that there's no pressure inside of the system downstream. Next what we have is the watertight box here. This holds all the electronics that would be damaged by the water in case of a full sink. Inside there you have the receiver for the radio, you have the servo that controls the motors. Some people use solid state relays in there to control the motors and the pumps. This does have a solid state relay in there for the pump. Also inside there you have the servo that controls the poppet valves which fire the cannons. Next is the lead acid batteries for this boat. Some people use LiPo batteries, the lithium ion batteries to power the boat. Most people still stick with the lead acid batteries because it adds additional weight to the bottom of the boat that stabilizes it. Next we have the pump, the bilge pump here. The bilge pump is responsible for removing water from the boat. Almost every boat in the world in the hobby has a bilge pump.
So is this the way the water shoots out up top here like
Correct.
a fountain?
Yeah,
okay.
So this is the regulator for it. By our rule set you have to have a regulator for a 1 unit pump. Half unit pump has an even smaller regulator. Next we have the drive motors here. Drive motors are just normal 550 can motors. Attached to that is the gearbox. So the gearbox holds a gear reduction system. Attached to that you have the stuffing tube, so this is where the propeller shaft goes into. This prevents water from leaking up through the propeller shaft, so we stuff it with grease. Next you have the servo that controls the rudder there. This is a waterproof servo. Some people put it inside a watertight box, but this is a servo that's proved to work well when it's submerged. It's also got some additional sealing on it that we just use liquid tape.
So what's this plastic stuff for on the side?
So you'll notice that the whole ship is covered in this plastic substance. It's actually just a Coke bottle, Sprite bottle in this case, armor. What it does is it prevents the BBs that hit the side from going through the boat and also protects all the internal components from BB damage.
Now there's one thing I can't understand is missing here. Where are the guns? I mean, well, what you call that? What you call them? Cannons, I should say.
Cannons, right here.
Oh, here we
here's
are.
The cannons.
They're on the deck, okay.
Oh yeah. So right here, these tubes that are coming off here, these are the magazines. So these hold all the BBs. At the bottom here, this is where the interrupter is. So the interrupter inside the cannon actually allows it to fire semi-automatically instead of fully automatically. On the top here, you'll notice the breech here. Right here there's an O-ring that builds up the pressure so the BB fires through it. Right here are the adjustment screws for it. So you can adjust the pressure on the O-ring that basically correlates to how fast the cannon shoots. And at the front here, safety first in our hobby, we have pins. They're just these normal hitch pins that just prevent the BBs from going through there until you're ready to start shooting.
Okay, so we're about ready for battle then, huh?
You betcha. The idea is that you break into two teams. Usually we do it by Axis and Allied. And the idea is that you're trying to score damage and trying to get sinks. So you score damage by making hits on the ship. Above the water line is the least amount of points. On the water line hit is the second most, and then below the water line hit is the most damage you can get. If the ship sinks, then it's worth its units and sink points. So if a 5-unit ship sinks, it's 500 points. If a 2-unit ship sinks, it's 200 points. So you get more points for damaging and sinking larger ships. The battle will end when everyone is either sunk or on 5 minutes, or off of 5 minutes. So I'll give you an overview of the 5-minute rule. When a ship is out of ammunition or when they just want to pull the boat off the water, you have to wait a minimum of 5 minutes before you can do that. There's a variation of this, which is the 2-minute rule for the smaller ships. The smaller ship can pull their ship off the water after 2 minutes. Once all the ships are off the water or sunk, the battle's over.
Alright, we're pinning him down.
Oh! I'm calling Ram on that.
Oh no!
That's almost.
Get him! Yes, get him! Get him!
Wait a minute. Did one of those annoying little boats get started? Yeah.